Beyond Bitcoin Hangouts are meant to give everyone a voice, a chance to speak with others who are passionate advocates for expanding the blockchain's use cases out into the world and beyond. Do you have a crypto community you would like to represent and hold open Hangouts for? If so, you might find yourself on the path to owning a stake in Beyond Bitcoin. We are looking for people who care about people who want to bring others together, because crypto communities are people. Beyond Bitcoin is a movement of thinkers and doers in the crypto space. And if you feel you are one of them, reach out to beyondbitcoin@gmail.com for more information on how to debut your community's efforts to reach to the stars and beyond.
Welcome everybody to another Beyond Bitcoin Hangout. Today is Friday, December 16, 2016, and this is episode 186. We're joined as always by a bunch of intrepid blockchain adventurers who are always on the search for different cool blockchain technologies that we can use and leverage to change the world in various ways that were thought impossible prior to the existence of blockchain technology. So with that said, we start every week with talking about various projects. We allow each project to RSVP to an RSVP thread on steemit.com. So if you have your own project that you would like to have coverage for, join steemit.com and check out Beyond Bitcoin tag and look for the RSVP post, and you can post your project and have the community back your project via upvotes. So bring your friends, bring everyone you know, and bring a few whales and get them to upvote your content, and you're guaranteed a very good spot in these Hangouts. Now, with that said, we try to be open and cover everything. So you are pretty much guaranteed that you will have coverage if you join these Hangouts, at least for the foreseeable future. And with that said, Bit20 from Estefan TT, and that is an index fund on the BitShares network. We're going to then move on to PeerPlays, which is a separate chain that is built on graphene technology that is going to be focusing on gaming and sports betting. And then we're going to move on to Good Karma, who has the eSteem mobile application and desktop application. He's going to talk about some updates on that. Then we're going to move on to TaskManager, about the TaskManager token. And then we're going to move on to virtual growth. And from there, we will go to Menta, who will be talking about the DOM project. Now, with that said, this is the order for today that has been established by community votes. Thank you to all of you who have reached out to your communities, because you reaching out into your network, your organic network, and bringing people onto Steem is what makes it valuable. So with that said, Estefan TT is going to be first today, and they're going to be talking about the Bit20 index fund. Estefan TT, are you there?
Yes, I am.
All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and step down. And would you be able to give us a little bit of an idea of what the Bit20 index fund is, what it aims to achieve, a little bit of the history of what you've been doing, and then we can maybe answer a couple questions?
Of course. My name is Stefan, Stefan Titi on the forums. I've been in the BitShare community for about 2 years now, and I've seen all the projects evolve from 1.0 to 2.0, and I just want to say that it's a really great community, very helpful, and the BitShare's technology obviously is amazing. And with that said, I'm here to introduce my project on the BitShares platform, which is Bit20 cryptocurrency index fund. So it all started 2 years ago with a friend when we started thinking that it would be amazing to have an index fund in cryptocurrency that would track the global economic growth of cryptocurrency in a whole. Not too volatile, but something reliable that would follow the evolution of cryptocurrency over time. And we started to code this tries of indexes locally in a computer, and we had like a lot of them at the time. It was like 2 years ago. We tried with 10 cryptocurrency in it, 20, 30 indexes that were changing their composition every day, every week, every month, every 3 months. And after a while, we collected all these data, and we had like a winner from our perspective. So we kept this one, and it was still running locally. It's an index fund with 20 cryptocurrency in it, selected by the biggest market cap of cryptocurrencies, and has this composition changed every month. So at that point, we start thinking that it would be even more amazing if we could create it for real. And as I knew the BitShares platform and its capability, we decided to give it a try. So we started digging in the graphene documentation provided by Xerox, and we saw that it wasn't that complicated. I mean, if I had a computer science background, it would have been like super easy, but I have a psychology background, which is not helping at all. But basically, yes, it wasn't that complicated. So we have been working all these years to have it done, and we have tested it, and it's now running smoothly since September, I think. And we decided that today was the official date to announce that the index fund Bit20 is now currently available on the BitShares decentralized exchange. We also made a website to give all the information you need to know about the index. You'll find it at www.bit20.com. It's bit like Bitcoin and 20 like the number, but written in letters. So BITTWENTY.com. In the website, you'll find all the information about the structure, how it's made. We are very transparent about everything we have made, so there's nothing hide. You can see the process of building the index, how we produce the price, and you can verify everything. So there's no need to trust us with the data we provide. You'll find an FAQ, you'll find also explanation in videos. So you can buy the index if you're interested in it. Even if you don't have any Bitcoin, if you don't have bought any Bitcoin in your life, there's video and explanation on how to change fiat for Bitcoin, Bitcoin to BTS, and BTS to buy Bit20s. So that's the website part. You also find the links to go straight to the BitShares decentralized exchange on the market itself, which is a little empty at the moment because it's the first official day, but it will fill itself. I want to bring to explain two key parts on the index creation. There's the composition of it, how it's done, how it's composed, which is really important, and also the trust, the security of the index, how the price is made, and why someone could use it without having to trust us on the price production. So I'll start explaining briefly how the composition is made. So we took the 20 biggest cryptocurrencies by market cap, and we had all these market cap to create a big market cap. Then we looked inside each currency, how much percentage of this sum of the market caps would have. Obviously, we could use we couldn't use a ratio, a direct ratio, because Bitcoin is way too big. It would have moved the index by its own. So we decided to create a limit at 10%. So in the index itself, in the basket of cryptocurrency, there's no currency having more than 10% of impact in the index. Bitcoin is capped at 10% because it's way too big. It's 90%. Then you have also Ethereum being too big, so it's also limited to 10%. And then you have slowly the rest of the coins in the index having lower percentages. For example, you have MadeSafe with 4.2%, Dash with 7.9%, PeerPlays with 1.62%, which is amazing because the project is very new and it's already in the top 20. And there's how the composition of the index is made. So the 21 of July 2015, when we created for the first time, we had to give it a value. It could have been 1 penny, the price of a house, or the GDP of a country. We decided to give it the price of an ounce of gold on this very day. So the first price of the index 1 year and a half was around $1,100. And then we just let the index evolve over time, and we change the composition of the index every month. So every month, what's really happening is we are taking the price of the index, and we are changing the composition, so the percentage of each coin in it, and sometimes there are coins going out and others coming in. We create a new composition and we swap it. So there's no change in price. It's just the structure, the composition of the index that is changing. And so the index is evolving over time in a smooth way and always tracking the biggest project in the cryptocurrency sphere. And that's about the composition. It's how it's made, and all this information are available on the website. All the compositions since the very first day are also available. I'll now finish this quick presentation with the trust aspect of the index. I think it's the most important thing of all. You can't ask people to believe that you won't game your own market, because if we were to produce the price privately, when the market will grow, we could basically move the price up and down as we wish without nobody noticing and make money over it. And obviously I can't ask anybody to believe that I won't do that. So we split the responsibility. We had the control over the index with a clever trick, I would say. We are just creating locally the composition of the index every month. When it's done, we are sending this composition in the BitShares blockchain. So basically what we are doing is in a form of a text, where you can see Bitcoin 10% and BitShares 6% and next 6.4%. Each coin and each percentage of the index, so the core aspect of the index, is sent in the BitShares blockchain, simply with a transaction and a memo. This is all the control we have over the index. So basically, this is no control. It's just the new composition every month. And then we have the witnesses of BitShares that have a script they provide that are going to see this composition in the blockchain. This composition, everybody can see it. We send it with a public key, the same as CryptoFresh. So you can go on CryptoFresh and see the memo with your browser, you can check that everything is right. The witness is doing the same, but in the BitShare blockchain, reading this composition and then building with website APIs price of in the coins. They are building the price of the index and sending it into the BitShare's decentralized exchange. So basically, we just provide the composition of the index openly. Everybody can see it on the blockchain with a simple browser, and the witnesses are just reading this composition, building the price, and sending it into the decentralized exchange. So basically, there is no way to manipulate dishonestly this market.
You don't touch it.
Yep, because even the team who built it don't have the power to do anything on it. And yeah, and that's about it for the quick introduction about the index.
Well, we have about 3 minutes left in this 15-minute period of time if we're going to be going by that measuring stick. So if anybody has any questions or comments, feel free to speak up. I will say you guys have been working on this, to my knowledge, for what, over a year now, right?
Yeah, that's a year and a half.
A year and a half, yeah. So this has been a year and a half in the making. The top 20 cryptocurrencies in the world are represented here, and people can hold this basket of cryptocurrencies to kind of shield themselves from the volatility of holding any single one, but also have the benefits of holding cryptocurrency in an age when the analog is fast becoming digital.
All the information since 2015, you can see the index evolving against dollar, against BitShares, against gold and BTC, Steem, MadeSafe. So you can see how it performed over time, and you can see that it has almost triple its price in 18 months. And it was partly in a bear market because in 2015, Bitcoin was still slowly going down. So it performed very well with the fact that half of the time it existed, it has been in a bear market. So I expect the index to perform much better than it has been doing in the last 18 months. And yeah, you can see it on the website. It's very interesting data you can find on the main page.
Well, this is one of the things that we've been looking into and looking forward to ever since BitShares really came out, because this is one of the things that people can hold who are new to cryptocurrency and know that they are going to be protected from, to a large extent, from the pump and dumps and all of the different things that are going on in the ecosystem and cryptocurrency itself. So I'm very much looking forward to this project. I thank you for coming on to talk about it a little bit today. And does anybody have any final questions or comments? Because I obviously can take this pedestal up and talk indefinitely, but obviously other people are here and you all have your own experiences and input. So, I mean, even if you just want to say thanks to Estefan for all of his hard work and the team's hard work, feel free to do so now. I'm pumped about it. I really am ready to, I've been talking about you coming on here to talk about this for a little while. So I'm really ready to dig into it and kind of see how this fund compares to gold and silver and things, because that's one of the big things that everybody's pushing right now as an alternative. And though I believe in gold and silver heartily and heavily, I also think crypto is going to take a little bit of its thunder.
Congratulations. Do you have any plans to get on any of the exchanges besides BitShares?
Well, at the beginning, I will speak about the index over the cryptocurrency sphere in different forums and platform, and also reach all these communities that have their token inside the index itself, to explain how it works and how they can trade it. And when the market will be big enough with some volume and liquidity. I will start spreading the word outside of the crypto community world on trading and investor forums and forex and stock market conversation, because the market will be big enough so they can start thinking, oh, well, I can buy a little Bit20 or two if I want to, and not having to play with a couple of cents. And if the thing is going well, why not? But basically, I don't see it like a necessity, because BitShare is perfect decentralized exchange, fast, and it's enough for the purpose of the index. But if an exchange want to implement it, why not?
It would also be cool to have some paper wallets to hand out also.
Well, you know, this would be something that would be really cool to have a little initiative where we all go out and we ask for it to join an exchange or something, and post it to a place on Steam, and people can upvote it and give you a little bit of a reward for doing things like this. I think that we should be doing stuff to leverage the tools that we have for precisely this reason. But if you guys are interested in doing something like that, I'm interested in participating. Okay, so we are a little bit over 15 minutes. I'm going to have to cut it off at this point in time. But thank you very much, Estefan, and feel free, as always, to join up anytime to talk about updates on this project, or if you need help with anything in particular, and, you know, maybe are looking for volunteers or any number of things, people can join up to these Hangouts to cover. So we try to leave it open for anybody.
Thank you, everyone, for listening. Bye.
All right, we're moving on to PeerPlays, and that's going to be Data Security Node, aka Jonathan Bahai. Are you there?
I certainly am. Fantastic. Thank you very much, Fuzzy. My name is Jonathan Bahai. I'm the president of Bunker Chain Labs, the company which is currently heading up the PeerPlays project. And today is pretty much a repeat of our announcement last week. Last week, we made an important announcement, which we went into detail in our last update. But today, I'm only going to reiterate the highlights of that important announcement last week. As of December 23rd, 2016, all trading of PeerPlays tokens will be halted and will no longer be permitted to be traded. Following that, the 3 days following the December 23rd date, there will be a permission to be able to transfer your tokens from account to account. So that will be coming up. So December 23rd is next week, which means the date is coming up. So that is the important information regarding the PeerPlays project today. Just to note that trading will stop December 23rd, 2016. And then following that 3 days, from December 23rd to December 26th, you'll be able to transfer your PeerPlays from account to account if necessary. That's all.
So during the Christmas holiday season, they can't play with their PeerPlays tokens on the exchange.
Well, the day after Christmas, yes.
So you're just saying sit back, enjoy your eggnog and turkey, and PeerPlays will do the rest for you.
Yeah, pretty much.
Sounds fair. Does anybody have any questions or comments regarding the upcoming freezing of the tokens first off? And after that, there's obviously, you know, room for other questions or comments. But if we could stay on that point first. Oh, Sergey and myself is asking a question down here. Are there any ways left to invest in PeerPlays?
Well, right now, the trading is available. So if you go on the market, go in the market today, either to OpenLedger or Freedom Ledger on the BitShares decentralized exchange, you can pick up PeerPlays.
And are you guys going to be having another ICO or a crowdfunder of some sort?
Yes, more details on that will be made available later this month.
Okay, but that is in the plans. So that might be another opportunity for those who are interested, would you say?
Yes, they certainly can wait until the next ICO to be able to pick up some PeerPlays. That is an option.
Any other questions or comments?
Will the upcoming ICO be available in multiple currencies?
The upcoming ICO we plan to only have available in Bitcoin.
Okay.
Okay, well, I will ask one question that I've had that I haven't asked yet. Have you played rock, paper, scissors yet against anybody? And have you won or lost? And I know this has nothing to do with the investment portion of this project. I'm just out of curiosity. Where do you stand? Are you a master, or are you just constantly defeated?
Well, as you know, we were doing quite a bit of testing prior to public release. So myself and Michael Maloney, Crypto Prometheus, certainly went head to head quite a bit. And oftentimes it was pretty much a draw. We were always psyching each other out and picking the same ones. But the only time that we really got settled was when we were, finally got into testing mode and just let one or the other win. Yeah, that was pretty much where most of our gameplay was.
Well, I'm gonna have to get back in there to get the statistical average a little bit more on my side, because the last time I played crypto, he destroyed me. Like it was sickening. I talked a good game though going into it, man. So I guess I'll have to see what happens if I can sneak in there and go against you at some point in time. Now, for those who are interested in doing some rock, paper, scissors action on a blockchain, can they do that currently?
Yeah, our testnet is still public and is accessible. If you go to PeerPlays.tech, TECH, you'll be able to check out the testnet, and you'll be given some test tokens for which you can play with and start up your own tournaments and invite friends and be able to get into rock paper scissors tournament with your friends and family.
Sounds awesome, man. I personally have been there. I would recommend everybody else go there and check it out. It is fun. It is fun, even if you're losing. So don't be afraid of that either.
Yeah, don't be afraid of losing.
Despite the fact that it's on a blockchain and you can never lie about it, don't be afraid of losing. Does anybody have any other questions or comments before we wrap up? And Data, if of course that includes you.
Just want to thank everybody for the support you've been showing, and very excited in coming into this next stage for the project. Just really happy that we've met all our goals, and we've delivered the product that we set out to deliver from the beginning, and now we're taking it to the next stage. So it's a very exciting time. All of us here are just could hardly wait to get to the next steps, because as you've seen from our website, it's going to be pretty exciting.
Well, I know that I'm seeing another graphene chain slowly climbing the ladder on CoinMarketCap too. I'm seeing a lot of things that make me feel pretty bullish about this project, and it doesn't hurt that it has a graphene backbone, does it?
Not at all. Actually, ever since PeerPlays has come on the scene, we've been under some pretty hard scrutiny by industry experts. And the truth is that once people get a really good look at the technology, they're actually quite impressed by it. So it's certainly helped us along, because some of the existing technologies that are out there have some deficiencies and are experiencing issues. So they're happy actually that we're using something that's an alternative to what's generally popular. So graphene is certainly getting more attention, and I dare say that 2017 is going to be the year of graphene.
I'm starting to think you might be right. But I'm getting giddy a little bit talking about this. So okay. With that said, does anybody have any questions or comments besides me?
I just want to congratulate you guys, Data Security Node. You've been fantastic this year. I'm looking forward to the next ICO. I wish you happy holidays and the best of luck. I think you're gonna do great.
See, Firstikin and I, we always agree. Absolutely. Jonathan, you and I have even argued before, but most people I actually I've argued with before. Point being, though, good work, really, to you and your whole team.
Thank you. Thank you very much, everybody.
And never forget that even if the worst happens and there's a solar flare that hits the Earth, they will have the bunker where they will still be able to play rock, paper, scissors on the blockchain.
No matter what, in the end, there will be rock, paper, scissors.
Okay.
Let's create a new children's book.
You got to look for the silver lining, even in the craziest of times, you know? Look to the sky, baby.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there any way that people can get a hold of you if they need to or would like to, Data?
Yeah, we have lots of communication channels available. You can go to peerplays.chat, log into our Rocket station there, and be able to direct message us there. Can reach us at powerup@peerplays.com, or sorry, powerup@peerplays.com is our email address as well. We could just we're available all the time. We're answering questions all the time, so we're certainly open to anybody who needs help with anything.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for coming on and always being transparent and providing updates and answering community questions. It's worked out pretty well for you guys so far. You've got a lot of people trusting you. And with that said, we're going to go ahead and we're going to move on to Good Karma, who's talking about eSteem or eSteem, however you want to say it. It is a mobile and desktop application for the Steem blockchain. Kind of an alternative to steemit.com, and you can use that. You can use this service as if you don't want to actually necessarily have to use a web service. So this would be something that you can download from the Apple iTunes Store, from the Android store, the Android App Store, or you can download it for your desktop. And with that said, I'm not the expert on it, though. Good Karma is, and he is here today to talk about it. Are you here, Good Karma?
Yes, I am. Hello, everyone, and thanks, Fuzzy, for the introduction. And it's been a while since my last update here, and it's great to be back. So, well, I will start with some updates from last couple of weeks we have been working on, and one of the major updates was that Russian community kind of bootstrapped the translation of eSteem, and they helped a lot with the translation. And I would like to thank to them Test Z and Anatoly and Sergey and myself. They've been supportive, and they started kind of translation of the eSteem basically, and we published project on PO editor where everyone can join and translate eSteem to their own language. And it has been amazing to see how supportive the community is. And by now we have 11 languages already translated and ready to go on the next update of eSteem.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, that was quite amazing, and it was very fast. We have seen multiple contributors in each language, so one could comment to each other's translation and improve the language of it. And it's going great. We have 11 language ready, as I said, and it will be pushed. I think we will do one release tomorrow for Android and give translator opportunity to review their work and make changes if they want. And we have number of other features also, including we updated the editor. On a mobile screen you have a smaller you have smaller screens, and you have to use touchpad, and the buttons are smaller and the screen is small, so you have to manage screen size to write longer posts. So we optimized editor to better use of the screen and increase the toolbar and the easy usage of the toolbar. And number of other changes also. We optimized all the screens and some functions, or what you call it, the menus, so that they can support different languages. Right now we seeing some languages which is Arabic and Chinese coming. They kind of use different what you call it, different language code, and their letters are different. So we try to optimize this, all the menus and all the functionality so that different languages can fit better.
So are you seeing an influx of new users who are coming from different languages as this happens?
Well, from the support, you can see that there is certainly the need for different languages, and you can see how community try to push their own language to translate and increase community around their language. So from that, you can see that there is a need, and I think we kind of need to push this. We need to give tool for the people to use. So one way would be to give them tool in their own language so they can understand better and they can easily get used to the environment and start using blockchain and all this new social media.
Yeah, I think that somebody said excellent. This is an excellent addition, and I can't agree more. One of the things that I would like to ask is, because I don't use a whole lot of, I use the web app lately. I haven't seen this new update. So can you tell us a little bit more about, like, I mean, are there going to be different ways of posting for people who are speaking different languages? That are you trying to go in that direction? Or are you laying the foundation for that? Or is this just kind of like a translation for the tools and using the blockchain and maybe posting some things in your own native language and understanding the user interface?
Well, in a way, that's kind of the start of both, because when you give interface in their own language, then people start to write in their own language and community will form around that language. Right now we have few languages which are quite active, like Chinese and German and Russian and Spanish languages, quite active on Steemit. But we can, by giving them interface in their own language, we kind of give them hope or give them ability to start in their own language community and form. I mean, I wouldn't say. I mean, we have still issue with where the majority voting goes to English languages, because mostly people understand English, not all the languages. But that will get solved in itself if community increases and increases.
That's a good point. Once you reach the critical mass and you actually have mass adoption, the various areas will have their own whales that will kind of upvote them, is what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly.
That's so cool. The kids love this stuff, and to tell people like, oh yeah, just go to App Store and get the eSteem, and they just get it. It's beautiful. I can't praise it enough.
Yeah, thanks. Well, that's the point. I mean, younger generation usually on their phone, and there are more people using mobile than their computer. So it's kind of the point where we started with a mobile application first. Now trying to give them option also on with a desktop app. And I can also talk about desktop app. It's coming together, and I think by the end of the year we will announce that update as well, where they can install on their PC, be it Windows, Linux, or Mac. They can install application and start using standalone application of eSteem, and it will have similar security implementation, and you would just connect any WebSocket you like and start using application on your PC.
Holy shit, you guys know how huge this is? I mean, get excited if you're invested, guys. Just get excited. This is great stuff.
Well, and you can see when you go on to Steam it that a lot of people recognize exactly what you're saying first, because they're upvoting the heck out of him. Everything I see you post, Good Karma, I mean, you're getting a lot of people upvoting your posts because they contain so much gold.
Yeah, thanks for the community. Sorry, did I hear myself? Maybe something is wrong.
I'm looking and I don't see who. Maybe it's on your end. Could you
Oh,
unplug and plug?
Yeah, it's better now. Yeah, thanks for the community for support and yeah, requesting all these new features. That's also giving us some ideas and where we want to move application. I think main point of this eSteem was to get feedback from community and start implementing and moving application towards what they want and how they want to use it. And you can see by support, we already have 11 languages. That was quite amazing for me, because within 7 days we had 11 language ready, and we can publish it tomorrow, basically.
Do you have a link to the GitHub language file?
Yeah, I can post actually here. People can join if they want to translate in their own language.
Good, yeah, man, dude. Absolutely. You got Norwegian yet?
Yeah, it's not. I think it needs review. We have, I think it's around 70 or 80%. I'm not sure right now, but we had one person who is doing Norway and Norwegian, and I think it's almost ready. We just need to review it, and it will probably come on the next release. Feel free to join and review the translation. It's quite easy. Platform we're using is PAW Editor, and yeah, the test Z initiated this, and it was quite helpful, and we see people quite familiar with it and already starting using. So it's not difficult to use and translate.
I'm looking at it right now. It looks pretty big, yeah.
In your marketing, are you emphasizing that you are access to social media and alternative news if the domain name system gets shut down? If websites get shut down, that they can still get access to social media and news through your product?
Well, yeah, when I say standalone, that's kind of my point. By saying standalone, I say they can use it without being dependent on any server. They can quite easily run, maybe running their own Steam blockchain and connect to that through WebSocket. And yeah, that's kind of the point of saying standalone. But I think I should more clearly talk about this, talk more about this, and I think it will come in a point where we have a desktop application ready, then we can kind of say that standalone application for mobile and desktop at the same time.
Congratulations on all your progress.
Thanks. I think I read the question, may I know what language you are writing the app in, from Fadat. It's written in AngularJS, and on a mobile, it will be same on the desktop as well. It uses Node.js as well, and we connect to the WebSocket directly. So everything is locally signed, and every transaction is locally generated and signed, and transaction, what you call hash, is broadcasted to the WebSocket of the user's choice. That's kind of the model how this application works, and yeah, that's I hope it answers your question.
It does, and that's great, man. It's really nice to see such an in-depth project. Thanks.
Thanks for the question. Yeah, if anyone would like to ask any question, I would be happy to answer.
Well, I was under the impression that you're working on the desktop application. is that out yet, or is it going to be out anytime soon?
Yeah,
Talk a little bit to that.
Yeah, I mean, app is almost ready. I mean, it's mostly the porting part of the from mobile to porting to desktop is tricky in a way. We have now we have to consider different screen sizes and different functionality, because on a mobile you have to deal with a touch event, and on a PC or on a desktop you basically work with clicks, and you have a bigger screen you can make use of. So, and progress is quite good, but we postponed it because we saw urge of I mean, the community was wanting to translate it in different languages, so we postponed it to after we have all the languages, or decent number of languages.
Sure.
We can take it to the desktop as well.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking forward to, just because I'm not posting like memes and my thumbs. If I type from my phone, I might have, I have difficulty typing with my fat short thumbs on my phone, and it'll come out looking like, it's all messed up and probably won't even look like English. But once that I have that desktop application, I'm very much looking forward to it. I did notice whenever you posted something about that, and I was like, I've always kept that in the back of my mind. So thanks for keeping me updated.
Yeah, it will come, and by the end of the year, I think, it will come. I think around Christmas time, we will publish it, announcement, and first release will be, quite well. It will have all the languages as well, which we have now for mobile.
Well, that's just plain awesome. And with that said, is there any way that anybody can get a hold of you if they have any questions or comments regarding this project?
Yeah, they can reach me out directly with the steemit.chat. They can reach Good Karma, or they can comment any of my posts, and we will get. Or they can email me at info@eSteem.vc if they have any question, or if they want some feature request or feedback. They can feel free to contact.
Well, as always, thank you very much, Good Karma. And everybody look into following Good Karma on Steemit as well, because he's another person who's just laying golden eggs all over the place. I know you're not a chicken, man, but I sometimes have to wonder. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
Next is going to be TaskManager, and he's going to be talking about the TaskManager token and some various cool things that he's doing with it. TaskManager, are you there?
I think I'm here. Can you hear me?
We can hear you. Can you turn yourself up just a little bit?
Possibly. Let's see.
Right there, you were okay.
All right. Well, I didn't really have a whole speech ready. I didn't know that I was going to be coming on the main part of the show. I just wanted to hang out for the after party and say a few things. But for the past week, I've been trying to figure out ways to make BitShares easier to use for people who don't know how to use it, and if that's possible. I also created the TaskManager UIA, which I've been handing out to people in small amounts as a reward for re-steams. And just the other day I did a BitShares giveaway that drew quite a few new users to the system. Although they haven't really done all that much trading yet, there has been lots of interest.
That's awesome. And are you taking advantage of the referral system?
I am now.
You didn't start out taking advantage of it?
Well, when I started out, I did not have BitShares membership, so I couldn't take advantage of it.
Oh, I see. So you had to fork out a little bit for the. I mean, it's a perfect time to do it.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
never been cheaper to get a lifetime membership for BitShares.
Yeah, now is an excellent time in order to get into BitShares, and I'm trying to draw some people from Steam to BitShares to show them how great it is.
And how are you doing that with the TaskManager token? I'm sorry for kind of forcing you on here, but you are doing something that a lot of people should know about?
No, that's all right. I'm usually the guy that you have in the back getting things done, not the guy that you prop up for a speech. But I will do what I can.
Well, that's no problem. I mean, what was the idea of TaskManager in general? You posted a post about it, but for those who might not have seen it.
Well, the whole idea was to try and find and hunt out all of the ways that people could earn while they're on Steam.
Continue.
And I've been gathering up all of the posts that pay people out in various ways that I can find. I do miss the odd one because there's just so many posts for it.
Of course.
And I put them all together in posts and try to explain what it is that people need to do in order to get their rewards from these different posts. Now, with the TaskManager token that I've been handing out, a large portion of the liquid Steam that I earn from all of my posts will be used to buy back that token so that can add value to it.
And this is using TaskManager account that is used for voting it or something like that?
Any of the Steam that I earn through the TaskManager account so far has been set aside to be turned into open Steam and buy back the asset on the BitShares network.
Oh, so it's another little value added that you bring in.
Yes. Plus, if you have 50 of them that you're holding, I will then upvote all of your posts using steamvoter.com.
Oh, that's a kind of a cool idea. So if you're holding the token, a number of them, you will get upvoted.
Yes.
So it's kind of like paying dividends via upvotes.
That is exactly right.
It's a very cool little concept, and Steam opens up a lot of these different concepts, right? But real quick, before I go too deep into it, does anybody have any questions or comments regarding TaskManager? Because I think it's a very cool little interesting project that is using both BitShares and Steam together. And this is kind of where we've been talking about needing to go for quite some time in these Hangouts, right?
Absolutely. I mean, look, the two together, it's a pretty much unbeatable combination.
What would be nice would be to have that compatibility also on Steemit.com as an internal market.
Yes, that would be nice, wouldn't it?
I think we need to work towards that and agree that if we're gonna move forward with BitShares, we need one of the decentralized exchange to be on Steemit.com in one way or another.
Ooh, well, wait a second first. We have Good Karma here, the golden egg laying developer. Why don't we just ask him if it's possible to add a decentralized exchange to eSteem through BitShares?
Well, it should be, right?
I don't see why it shouldn't be. I mean, it's all API.
Well, maybe we can talk about this with Good Karma after during the after party, but this is something that I'm gonna hold off to the side to bring back up, because it is a very interesting thought to be able to have personal tokens that and eSteem does seem like a heck of a good platform to make it on.
eSteem is going to be probably bigger than Steemit.com because of its format that is the most preferred format, the cell phone format. But Steemit.com is getting writers and users and abusers from the web. So both of them are going to be big. And forging a great partnership with Steemit and with eSteem, I think will be in BitShares' interest for sure. Looking at all the audience Steemit is bringing in, you can just imagine what the market cap will be on that one alone. So to be on board with Steemit is a better business strategy than to be Open Ledger or Freedom Ledger or whatever ledger that is its own thing.
Man, this maybe we'll talk to Good Karma about this a little bit and get the ball rolling if people are interested in backing it. I sure as heck am interested in it. I've been telling him kind of this idea for a little while.
That would have
I really
me pumped.
huh?
That would have me pumped for sure.
Of course it would. That's what.
Right.
And you're the one who's bringing this kind of up in this conversation, really, because you're one of the people who is focusing on creating BitShares tokens and bringing people to the BitShares DEX using Steem. I mean, it is the perfect place to funnel people into BitShares and get 80% of their transaction fees until they get lifetime memberships for, you know.
We'll call it first second BitShares Steam it proposal draft 1.
First Seconds BitShares. Why is that? Did you come up with the entire idea?
Of course, I just said it like a minute ago. Check your tape.
No, what we're talking about.
When we're porting a partnership between Steemit and BitShares for internal marketplace, we get access to all that audience, and that is what is getting our friend pumped.
I think that what I think we should do is come up with a different brand. But this is a good path, yes. I can see the melding of these two things coming together in an interface very well. Now, the question is, I've had a lot of people say that it's not, that Steem itself isn't very helpful to for some of this stuff because of API issues. But I don't know how far those API issues might cause problems with this.
Well, I asked Fadat to make a video from his point of view to show and tell what's going on and put it up on Steemit, and we'll vote on it and look into it together so that we all get a good view of what the problem is, and then we'll quickly forge a solution for it, and the developers will get some ideas from us.
Call it First Dex. There you go.
Well, yeah, I mean, business management and business solutions, and solutions is, what we need to be focused on. There are problems that needs to be solved, and we need to come up with the solutions. And the solution is always an idea first and developed later. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, get a good brand, and I think that you got something. I will say that. Now, Firstican's a little bit too much, I think, personally. But I kind of said the same thing to Sollywood about Sollywood Solars and Cents too. But
well, I did the same thing too. Yeah. I gotta say, I did.
But with that said, an idea can I can be 100% wrong. I mean, there are people who really do go for some of this branding that I might generally not see as being, Of course, Firstican does have an image of being a Viking all over the place, so that kind of might be, you see.
Well, that is just a character, Fuzzy. I'm also a very good businessman with a very long track record of building great businesses and great brands, and I just happen to love blockchain, and I don't see any future in anything, in particularly in crypto, except we now see central banks are adopting blockchain for their fiat currencies. Hey, Trevor, you are echoing.
Hold on a second, buddy. Okay, go ahead.
I think I lost my train of thought there in that torture.
Did you hear it too? Were you hearing feedback?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, well, we've got it taken care of. We've got it taken care of now. So go ahead if you feel free to speak up. Otherwise, we're running a little bit, we're getting a little bit over, but that's fine. TaskManager is doing some amazing stuff. It's the very beginnings of it. I think that we do need to work together to create something that is precisely what we're talking about here. And I'm very much for backing Good Karma with it.
Totally.
Like I said, I've been talking about the mixture of BitShares and Steem since day one, so I think that we should cover this stuff and we should work on this stuff together. I honestly don't care about branding, but I will say that these ideas did stem from Beyond Bitcoin. So I want to thank everybody here who's been part of that. And I want to thank TaskManager. I want to thank you for joining up and really like doing this stuff. And I'm sure you're seeing some benefits because you're probably going to be one of the bigger referrers on BitShares in a while.
Yeah, odds are good.
Odds are good. Fair enough, man. Well, with that said, is there any way that people can get a hold of you that if they would like to reach out and talk a little bit about some stuff with you?
SteamTaskManager@gmail.com.
So it's all one word, SteamTaskManager@gmail.com. And you can also, okay. And you can also find yourself at TaskManager on Steam as well, right? That is your account?
Yes.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for joining up, and thank you for joining up every week, because without the group of people who've been here, you guys are like Ents in our forest, right? You guys have been here, a lot of you, from day one with BitShares, or very shortly thereafter, day one, and that's kind of like the old growth in the forest. So I really I'm always stunned by how much support we have, and just how all these people are always working on valuable projects in the space. So thank you for very much for joining up and being part of this. Now, with that said, Virtual Growth is up. He's going to be giving some updates on his various projects and numerous meandering adventures. I'm sure that Virtual Growth can give some updates on that. Are you there, Virtual Growth?
Yes, I am.
Well, why don't you step up with your bad self and tell us a little bit about what's up in this past week and what you've been up to. I know that I've been seeing SteemLand go crazy on Twitter. It's always out there sending a long stream of information from Steam out into the Twitter sphere. But I'm sure that's not all that you're up to in your time on the Steam platform. So what are you up to?
This task manager token kind of took away some of my attention or matter. I've been trading it probably more than anybody, creating a market, trading it against old bits and the bit USD just to help create a market, since they have the ICO, which I've been buying the most of. Since it's been profitable for me, why not just put the time into it and offer it to everybody else? Steam Bets has been doing well, slowly growing. One person was upset about an issue, but that will be taken care of in time. It still has whale support, even had one day Steam Witness. I forget which ones exactly, but SteemLand and Twitter is over 50,000 tweets, retweeting for the main Steemit account and Steemit posts and a few others. Occasionally I tweet ones that I vote on and whatnot. SteamPrentice is continuing on. My account and SteamPrentice are both following the trail of ATS David, who in the past week has been number 2 on the curation value. That makes things a little easier. You're very welcome, Task Manager. It only makes sense. Task Manager promotes Steam Bets as well. So people, when they work with the both of them, they can earn Steam and earn Task Manager tokens. I made a token last night to sneak in as a surprise, and it was noticed by somebody on Steemit who made a comment, so I made a little post because it was already spotted. That's on Steemit. I'll show the link. It's called Vergro on BitShares. It will be, in essence, but accumulation of a bunch of things I've done. I'd like to give it to people in the community with that value, as long as there's value in it, so that I can always buy it back through investments to keep it as a certain valuation. Possibly offering a token for SteamPrentice or using part of Vergro for Steam power of SteamPrentice, which has a few investors who invested to 1,000. Somebody about to say something? I might have let go of my button for a minute too.
No, you're fine. You just kind of echoed it, and I think you heard yourself a little bit, just the end of your voice.
Understood. SteemLand I've been working on is a presentation area. If anybody would like to come and do presentations, we will give tokens to people who do talks and presentations, perhaps performances as well. I have numerous boards posted up with pictures from SteamFest and hundreds more if people are interested. I've rented a quarter of a sim. Somebody about to say something?
Nope, I'm listening to you. I do have things that I want to say, unless you're hearing, unless your ears are burning because I'm thinking to myself about it. But I haven't.
Oh,
heard
my ears are
anybody
always
say
burning when you're around, Fuzzy. I'm just going to continue to say when people click on pictures in SteamLand, I heard that echo, in SteamLand, they will get blocks.
Go ahead. I'm looking. I'm just trying to find it.
Sorry about the echo a little bit there. The people earn pictures. There's a picture of a Steemit post. When someone clicks on it in the virtual world, they'll get a block in the virtual world just to imitate kind of a blockchain thing. And periodically, those blocks that are collected will be reviewed, and then people will be given Bitcoin, Steam Deck dollars, and/or Steam, and possibly Steam Power as rewards. I can also incorporate directly bits, which is 100 Satoshi each, within the YR Grid virtual world to direct value rewards. I'm not going to do that initially, depending on the value of people visiting, if those will actually be worth 100 bits more or less, and instead paying people whatever. I'll pause if anybody has any questions, and I'll mention a few things on the community as well in a moment.
Well, does anybody have any questions or comments at this point in time for virtual growth before I speak up? What I was going to ask you is if we could maybe set it up so some people can join up for next week's Hangout. I'm interested in doing this, and I want to move forward with it and see if we can, because I think that giving presentations like that would be a pretty cool idea. Now, we obviously don't have to do it every week like that, but I would like to see if we can get people on board to try it out.
Yeah, that sounds good. If people are interested, then make people give me pictures and links, and I can set up billboards so that people can just check things out while they're hanging around. And then we can do a more visual aspect. And someone did ask about being a after party possibly in the virtual world that way, but if you want to incorporate with the main Hangout too, that's as well a possibility.
And can we fly in YR Grid?
Yes, you can fly, of course. Why wouldn't you be able to? You're an avatar.
That's all I needed to hear on that side. Okay. Does anybody have any questions or comments? Because I think I've covered the most important part, which is the flying.
Well,
go ahead, Solomon. We've got about 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes.
Okay. Well, I'd like to know, in terms of the presentations, what's the ultimate goal with having those? I guess what's the audience for that? Is that just a Steam thing, or can you explain a little bit more about that?
Solomon, I could actually do anything. I'm going to have it. Was basically calling it a SteemLand. We're going to have Steam projects as well, but we can have other projects. Anything is welcome. In Second Life is a virtual world that's used more, and some major companies used it years ago, such as Dell. They do presentations. We used to attend a thing called Science Fridays. Every Friday I used to go to, and people used to just talk about science stuff. And there'd be dozens of people there listening, and you can also show visual things to do more of a presentation, and any pictures can be linked to websites and other materials, so people could walk around and looking at these things, kind of like a trade show. And some part of the virtual world, we could even program things to be interactive in some level, possibly too, depending on what the goal is.
Thank you, sir.
You're most welcome.
Well, I will say that you are one of the people, Solly, who'd probably do a dang good presentation in there.
Absolutely.
Is that what you were thinking?
Oh yeah, I'm always thinking of platforms or outlets that get the word out about what. But it's also about understanding, I guess, the business model, the revenue potential, the audience. All of those things go into considering whether a specific outlet is right for you to speak at. So.
Of course, that makes complete sense. The one thing is a virtual world, so it's like a game. A lot of people enjoy playing games, so it does have that aspect that's attractive. and Mental wants to fly, well, then maybe you should come and fly with us. Otherwise, the only barrier is people need a better video card because of the graphics demand of the virtual worlds, and that not everybody has. So that's the limitation. But for those who do have it, there is that value of the visual presentations that people enjoy and can interact with, and people can text, and you can directly message people more easily. That works well in the virtual world as well, just to mention that.
Well, many corporations and companies are doing this type of stuff for distance e-conferencing. So this is something they actually have their own buildings and such that they put up in a virtual world, and they, on a beach or wherever they want to go, and they travel to these conferences. So, fly to these conferences in the virtual world. But you're seeing it. It's been going on for probably over 10 years now. So this is something that is not brand new, but it's definitely brand new to the crypto scene, and it's a cool idea.
Yeah, it's been about 9 years, more so, but yeah.
Well, let's hope that my computer doesn't die when I try it, but I'm down, man. I'm down for trying it, and I look forward to it. So does anybody have any questions or comments before we move forward with respect to any of the Steem bets or SteemLand or any of the other projects that Virtual Growth is working on lately? Okay, well then we're going to go ahead and we're going to move on to Menta, who's going to be talking about the Dawn project. And Menta, are you there? I believe Fadat can speak up as well. If
Oh yeah, absolutely. So I just pasted white paper 0.1.2 into the chat, and that's what we're up to. Now, I think the main focus should really be directed toward the first segment of the paper, okay? Because we're moving in a chronological order here. And the first thing that we're going to do is build out a blockchain financial infrastructure. And, well, make a long story short, this is going to create an open source hardware company. But it's not a company. What it is we don't know. It's something we believe to be fundamentally better and more responsive to the needs of the customer and the investor than today's business models, period. And it's a multi-year plan. So you can expect to see this white paper change and evolve, probably at sometimes quickly and at other times slowly. What this is a guide to our development process. If you have any questions about it, I suppose now's the time. Let's see. I just kind of got done typing that. So, well, editing that, I should say. Yeah.
TaskManager says torrent hash chain.
Yes, sir.
And what are the reasons for going this route?
The torrent hash chain? Which route? Because the thing that I kind of want to focus attention toward today is fin chain and how it serves the needs of stakeholders in collaboration better than existing models. And when I say better than existing models, I'm referring specifically to corporations and, of course, to, well, basically socialist systems. And TaskManager, happy to answer your question. Is it going to be torrents on the blockchain? No, it's going to be magnet link hashes on the blockchain. Distributing torrents on the blockchain could put the project in legal jeopardy, but hash codes are safe.
And what is the importance of it?
Well, by having a global index of torrent hash codes, we make torrents available. But at the same time, we would hate to participate in any piracy, etc., etc., etc. So we're not storing the torrent file or the contents of this torrent file anywhere near the chain, because that could possibly be bad. Instead, we're storing the magnet link hashes.
So is this a first step to working with things like a decentralized YouTube?
Absolutely.
And what do you see as the reasons for doing a project like this? What is the need for something that is like a decentralized YouTube?
Censorship and privacy.
Okay, so Fuzzy, let me ask a question real quick because that's actually my area, and me and Fadat have talked a lot about the realm of video. So I'd like to know because the Dawn project, obviously, it's a blockchain project. So any use case in terms of getting feet and people into the actual applications and using can be taken from any industry because blockchain is a very wide-ranging.
Massively so.
Yeah, exactly. So, given the conversations we've had and the reality of YouTube, I am curious to know why you think a decentralized YouTube, in terms of a business model, is something that could gain blockchain adoption.
Oh, sure. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to speak directly to you, Solomon. If you look at what I labeled torrent hash chain, basically there's a back end there for you. Now, the differentiation is this between, say, YouTube and the torrent hash chain. They're both free. They're both going to stay free, okay? And, well, on YouTube, you do have the advertising. And that's something that we could look at, but it's not a now thing. That requires some pretty sophisticated video editing techniques and stuff like that. So basically, this is not a direct driver of profits. And, well, sir, that's your territory.
No,
I mean it. Really. The intention of the torrent hash chain is for things that are free. And
okay. No, that's cool. That's totally cool, and I appreciate that for that, because I know you and a lot of people are very smart, and you guys understand technology, and the Dawn looks like and especially with the open source hardware, I think it could definitely be something big. So, but I am curious to know, as a business model, what you feel like the feature or the application, what aspect of the application will get a certain demographic into the door to actually use Dawn, whether they know it or not, using Dawn to in their everyday lives.
All right, no, that's an excellent question. So that's actually messaging. The torrent hash chain, let me explain to you how that came about. It turns out it's just not that hard, okay? And it provides this huge public service, and we want to be there to provide that. In terms of getting adoption into people's everyday lives, messaging. Maybe some of you have seen the New York Times video talking about China's main messaging platform called Weixin. And if not, I'm going to paste it into the chat in just a moment. And gosh, my Chinese is terrible. Anyway, point is that it's a really fantastic app, and we have no equivalent of it outside of China. Look, if our app ever gets half that good, then we're doing a damn fine job. It means that we've been picked up by a number of platforms themselves. Weixin it's a platform that has platforms built on it. And what I'd like everybody to keep in mind is it's also just a messaging application. So in terms of getting into people's hands, messaging, sir.
Okay. So a follow-up question would be, if messaging is the quote unquote killer app, or the app that is at least going to get number.
Oh, I didn't say it was a killer app, actually. Messaging is one of the later features, although we do hope to have that would be like 2017. With relatively little doubt, too. Our software dev is actually fairly advanced on all this stuff, so should not be an issue. But the first and biggest thing, actually, is the way that the way that the community is going to manage the development and distribution of open source hardware. That's the big deal here. And I'll tell you a little bit about that. So basically, when we sell a router, the chain sells a router. And that's actually a really important distinction. We might be building the chain, but the chain is, independent. And that's really key to this next thing, because here's what happens. We'll be using inter-blockchain communication protocols to communicate with, say, at a bare minimum, Bitcoin, Dash, Steem, BitShares. And basically those are currencies that people can purchase hardware in. And people can go to the chain, send the right amount of currency to the chain's wallet, and receive hardware from the chain. And that process creates an excess. 50% of excess is sent to token holders to repay them for the community development effort on the hardware and the software the hardware runs. Another 50% goes to an open source hardware slush fund. Yep, you heard it first. We're starting an open source hardware slush fund.
And how are you going to get funding for it? I mean, are you going to be providing a certain service that is going to cost X amount of money, and then you're going to put that money into a fund of some sort?
Well, it's an extremely good router, you see. Extremely good.
So you think that selling the router for a price that is below what most people would normally have to pay for it?
No, we will sell, it's a premium router. No, it is more expensive than a normal router. We may sell cheaper routers
for
later.
The premium router.
For the
premium router.
You can't buy a router like this. Let me just kind of dig into some detail here. Okay, the minimum spec on this router is Intel or AMD CPU, quad core, 8 gigabytes of RAM, 4 gigabit Ethernet ports, and a 5 terabyte hard disk. That's the minimum spec.
Do you?
And go ahead.
For that, do you know any blockchain router competitors as of now?
I don't.
Okay, so because I saw one that I think is currently trying to.
Yes, I hash Fury. Yes, I hash Fury. Yes, I hash Fury. Bingo. Yes, sir.
So
right.
You are following what I've been saying, like to make these so you can actually be having these as a node on both of the chains.
Oh, absolutely. They're intended to be multi-chain devices. Okay. In the white paper, I did not get to list, what we plan to be compatible with. Let me just go over that real quick for you guys now. We're talking Bitcoin, BitShares, Dash, Monero, Steem, MadeSafe is another very big one. We want to, basically, look, I have made a lot of posts on the MadeSafe forums over the years, and their project is moving slowly. I still think they're going to make it. And you know what? If they don't make it, it does not harm us at all to help them out by providing as many nodes as is needed for testing. Yeah. I mean, of course, the user is the one that decides this, not us, but we'll make it nice and easy for the users.
And will this make it easy for people to run a witness, for instance?
Oh yeah, yes, absolutely.
And will these things be updated on their own? So, my mom could potentially have a witness running in her closet?
Yes. Barring, if the network hard forks and requires, we don't know what networks will require of witnesses or validators. And so, I can't say for certain what that's going to look like, right? But as much as it is automatable, we will automate it. And as much as it is possible to keep up with all these fast-moving projects and keep their software up to date, we will. So yeah.
Well, you could take the route kind of like what Trezor is doing and just say leave it open to those chains to update the witnesses.
No. We'll work with the chains. We don't want to add to their development pipeline. We think of ourselves as a downstream consumer in this case.
Well, it sounds like a wonderful idea, and I think that you could get monetization from it since you're focusing it on multiple different types of chains too. It sounds like a pretty interesting project.
It's exactly what I wanted to do when you and I first spoke in 2014, and did not have the team to execute it with. And here we are today.
Well, and whenever you have more and more graphene chains that are going to keep popping up, as I suspect is going to happen, you're going to have a lot more of a demand, I think. And graphene is one of the things like it's the business blockchain, as how I like to look at it. Decentralized autonomous corporations, DACs, like we always used to call them. It is like it's what you would want for your own corporate structure to a large degree.
We are entirely headed in that direction, which is to say, look, when we compared it to what exists today, it was our opinion that we don't want to call it a business. The efficiencies that we can achieve through the use of the blockchain in this case are so extreme that we really get to serve all of our purposes quite well. What I mean by that is very specifically that we have a mission in terms of the open hardware, and of course that mission is to make it available. Okay. We also have a mission in terms of delivering simple software. Software systems are too complex to use. I'm not going to say that they're too complex, okay, because I don't really believe that. Complexity is necessary sometimes. As a programmer, I understand this. However, the user experience needs work. And so that's where we're heading.
Well, it sounds great. I'm glad that you guys dropped by to give us a little bit of an update on what's going on. I'll talk a little bit more in depth about the first steps that you guys are taking as you move forward.
All right.
We are sitting at about an hour and 37 minutes, so we are about 2 minutes over what we should be. So what
real quick then?
If you have anything that you want to close up on and any way of people getting in contact with you, those would be two wonderful things to close on.
Okay, sure thing. All right. First of all, let's see. What our first dev steps are these. We've got to basically finish the financial chain, which is going to be the one actually selling the router. And once that is complete, we will begin router sales. Then, once the routers are in play, new layers are available. But until we've established this network, mission one is two things, okay? One, we ship the hardware, and two, we ship the chain.